Lights, camera,
Rolling.
action.
I feel the need for speed. Ow!
Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand. Wax on, wax off.
He taught me, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses.
Hi, I'm Joe, and this is the Filmjoe Podcast, where film talk happens. Hi, I'm Joe.
I'm Daisy.
And I'm Liss.
And welcome to the podcast where we talk about films, filmmakers' trends, the good, the bad, and the not so bad, all in the spirit and for the love of film. The 1990s was a decade of significant cultural shifts, marked by the end of the Cold War and the emergence of music genres like grunge and hip-hop. The era also saw the proliferation of new technologies like CD-ROMs, cell phones, computers, and the internet. In Hollywood, the industry saw budgets never seen before, and film became bigger and more eventful. One could say that this was a continuation of the expansion of what had developed just a decade earlier. It was also the golden age for independent films with directors like Quentin Tarantino, Wes Anderson, Doug Liman, Paul Thomas Anderson, Kevin Smith, and the Coen brothers, all gaining prominence. These filmmakers brought a fresh, often unconventional storytelling approach to the mainstream, with a greater focus on character-driven narratives, dialogue-driven scenes, and more intimate storytelling. So on this final part of our season, we are continuing our delve into the films of the 1990s. Alrighty, guys, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Ready.
Outstanding. So real quick, are you guys fans of the Naked Gun films?
Surely.
Yeah. Yes. Love me
Yeah.
some Leslie.
Okay, so I went to go see the newest Naked Gun film. And when I first heard the film was coming out, I'm like, come on, Leslie Nielsen is gone. He will forever be Frank Drebin. This is an abomination. You can't touch this, right? Well, the movie is a Naked Gun movie. It is fantastic. Liam Neeson, he is incredible as Frank Drebin Jr. And you won't be disappointed. I mean, I laughed so hard, I pissed and I pooped myself. It was hilarious.
Wow, that sounds very eventful.
It was, especially for the people sitting behind me.
Like, note to viewers, wear a diaper.
Wear a diaper.
Again, promoting the Filmjoe diapers.
There you go. Now available on our merch store. But yeah, it's fantastic. It really is. I mean, it's shot the same way. It has the same time of the music, the dialogue. It's as if they took the blueprint from the original and went step by step to create this new version. And Pamela Anderson as the love interest is fantastic in this. She is so funny, so charming. And Liam Neeson, wow. He knocked it out of the park. So if you guys get a chance to see it, definitely go check it out. Wear your diapers. It's well worth it.
Awesome. Sounds
Now,
cool. Yeah, that's cool.
On these diapers, what's going to be the logo on the front?
It will be
Joe's face.
Wow.
Not my face.
Take a poop on Joe's face. No, not into that. Sorry.
Wow, how is this episode going this way this fast?
I know, huh? Wow. We're not even 10 minutes in. Jesus. Okay.
You know what'll be kind of cool? You know how, I don't know if you guys if Liz, you remember diaper time, but there was these diapers that when you got, when they peed on, they had like a little yellow line on it.
I do remember those. Yes.
So that would be cool if they start out they start out one color, and then when somebody pees or poops themselves, my brother's face comes on it.
Wow. You see, again, not even 10 minutes in, and the attacks are coming through. Wow.
I like this brainstorming, Daisy. We got to continue this.
I know, right? We make a lot of money.
Oh, jeez. How do we end up here? So anyway, nonetheless, it's a funny movie, okay?
Oh,
Jesus. Okay, but yeah, I mean, it's good. I also saw a trailer for which I got tickets for Weapons, which is coming out next week, and that's going to be awesome. We're actually going to be covering that on the Fear on Film. A shameless plug there. So, but yeah, that's going to be a really good one. So,
Okay.
alrighty.
Sweet.
So, what do you say we jump into this week's episode?
I'm ready.
Sure.
So, for our first film, Damn the Man, Save the Empire.
Do you think the story is already written, or do you think a bold and courageous act can change the course of history?
Something happened to me last night in Atlantic City.
Did you win anything?
No, I did not.
But Lucas blew it. Everyone knew it.
You were by Empire?
Well, that's a good thing, right? The money is gone.
Where's it going to?
I think it's recirculating.
We're turning this into a music town?
I have to pay for what Mr. Brilliant here did.
I'm the idiot. You're the screw-up, and we are all losers. Now, 5 friends have one day to decide what to do with the rest of their lives. AJ loves Corey, not the whole story.
Today is the day that I'm gonna tell Corey how I feel about her. That I,
Love her.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's possible for someone to be in love with someone else and not even know it?
In this life, there are nothing but possibilities.
That is so sweet. I think I'm gonna barf.
Corey wants Rex first time at sex.
Hey, Rex, what happened to your hair?
I will offer myself to Rex Manning. I wish I could be brave. You are brave. I have to bring Rex his lunch.
24 hours in the lives of young employees at Empire Records when they all grow up and become young adults. The film we're talking about here is Empire Records from 1995, directed by Alan Moyle. The film stars Anthony LaPaglia, Debbie Mazur, and Maxwell Caulfield. So for this film, we're going to be rating this on the Filmjoe scale of 1 to 10 vinyl records. All right?
Okay.
All
cool.
right.
All right. So, quick summary. So, Empire Records is it's an independent, small record store, and it's about to be turned into Music Town, kind of like a Tower Records or something like that. And it's up to the wacky employees to figure out how to raise money after Lucas, one of their employees, basically takes the store's money at the end of the night, takes it to Vegas to try to win a ton of money so he can buy the store and keep it Empire Records. Well, he loses everything. So now they all have to deal with trying to figure out how to get the money back and the store changing hands. And they also have to deal with problems amongst themselves like love and stuff like that. And, you know, dealing with a spoiled rock star named Rex Manning and all that. So basically that's the gist of the film. Production backstory. Carol Heineken, the screenwriter, she based the film from her personal time working at the video department at Tower Records when she was in high school back in Phoenix, Arizona, and then later on working at the Tower Records on the Sunset Strip in Hollywood. So Heineken, she wrote the spec script, and it was first given to Alan Ritchie, his producing partner, Tony Ludwig, and they looked it over, and they decided to go on here with the project, and they went with director Alan Moyle, who had recently directed a movie called Pump Up the Volume with Christian Slater. New Regency production, they got into a bidding war with Warner Brothers over the script. Carol Heineken was offered $325,000 up front and $200,000, if the film was made, in addition to. She was also to receive 1% of any soundtrack royalties and 5% of merchandising. So there was a lot of high hopes for this, a lot of buzz. Now, keep in mind what other films had preceded this, and where we were at in cinema with with Kevin Smith's films and Swingers and stuff like that. So there was a lot of buzz. 2 days after Regency Enterprises executive producer Michael Nathanson, he gave the green light to make the film. He was approached with a script for Clueless at the time. So he's like, well, I already got a teen movie, which was Empire Records. He passed. and that one that he passed
Matt.
upon, yeah, it turned out to be a huge box office success. And we'll get into the box office of Empire Records in a little bit, but the film was finally released on October 20th, 1995. So let's get our takes. Daisy, have you seen this before? What were your takes on this?
I'm surprised I've never seen this movie before. The cast is a great cast, and yeah, you know what? I actually really liked it. I really liked it a lot. To me, it was like a 90s version of The Breakfast Club.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah. What about you, Liz?
This was the first time I ever saw it, and as I was watching it, I was saying, Joe, why do you put me through this? There's so many wonderful options in the 90s. I hated this. The characters sucked. The plot was fucking trash. I hated it. The soundtrack was the only good part. You guys honestly enjoyed this?
I actually did.
Why?
Okay, okay. I'll tell you my takes. Okay, this is my first time watch. This is a cult has a huge cult following, and I've heard about it throughout the years, and I never got around to see it. I know Liv Tyler was in it, and Anthony LaPaglia, and a lot of positive stuff. Great soundtrack. So finally got around to seeing it, and I was not impressed. It was. I'm with you on this one, Liz.
Wow, this is so weird.
I'm with you. This movie was annoying, and I just couldn't get into it. I tried, and I have a high tolerance for dog shit. But not this one. Not this one.
Oh fuck.
Yeah,
you know what it was is that it was nostalgic.
If you can call it that, yeah. Well, here's the thing. Okay, here's what I found annoying, and I'm sure, Liz, you're gonna echo the same. The character of Lucas, he's this rebellious, cool dude, but very smart and a little bit too smart for his own good. He has a rebellious counterculture attitude, anti-establishment, and he's, but he's a complete asshole. He's a dick. He's an irresponsible prick. And I'm sorry, Joe, the manager, Anthony LaPaglia, he takes it a little too well, because what happens is Lucas is like, damn the man, I'm going to go in and take the, tonight's money, because he closes the store. And he finds out that they're going to sell it to this chain company. And so he takes the money and he goes to Vegas and he loses it all. And Joe, the manager, he's obviously pissed, but he takes it way too, like, oh, well, what are we going to do?
Call the fucking police.
Right. And
end of movie. Roll credits.
It's obvious he cares about these kids.
Yeah, but money's kind of important. So is his livelihood.
Right?
Oh, God.
I get one to help the teens in the area, but what, you going to lose your house over it? Yeah,
right. Daisy, question.
Yes?
How does it feel to be in my seat now?
I feel totally isolated. I feel like I'm on a little desert island.
I know, this is weird that me and Joe agree, and Daisy, this is odd. I don't know if this has ever happened before.
I'm scared.
I know.
Diapers.
Wow, here we go with the diapers again. You know what? Yeah, when you pee or poop in these diapers, not my face comes up, but the title of Empire Records shows up. There you go.
Oh wow!
Yes. Lucas's face.
Lucas's face. Oh my gosh!
Granted, he was the least liked character, So I will agree with you. I will give you guys that.
Yeah, because I thought what they were trying to do is kind of create like the Ethan Hawke character in Singles or the Tom Cruise character in Risky Business, where they throw caution to the wind and say, "Fuck it, this is life," and they're very philosophical about it. I think that's what they were trying to do with Lucas, and
any charisma, like there's nothing likable about him. He can't.
Yeah, and then you got these this oddball group of characters, the cool wise fuck up, the suicidal chick, the hot smart chick, the goofy side character. And to me, it felt like it was way too by the numbers and not effective or memorable. I mean, the music was great. I love the music in it.
Yeah.
I mean, all these great songs in there. There was one character I did like that I thought was funny, and he was, in your words, Daisy, douchebaggery, was Rex, the washed up,
Oh God.
sexy Rexy. Oh my
He
God.
was disgusting. He was so disgusting. Poor Liv Tyler, she's like, I'm gonna give my virginity to him. She has this high opinion of him, and then he's like, all right, you want it? He just whips it out. I'm like, that was just so wrong.
Yeah, and then but the whole setup of the scene, and then she gets hurt, and she's like, what the hell does she expect? She pops off her blouse and she drops her dress right in front of him, basically saying, "Oh, I want to fuck you, rock star." What did she expect? I felt no pity for her.
She was a young girl.
She was a
I think
fucking
she was
moron.
high out of her mind. She didn't know what the hell she was doing.
Well, we didn't know that back at that point.
Yeah, and what was up with those granny panties that she was wearing?
And they didn't match.
They didn't match. I mean, I don't know. That was probably part of the gist of the joke of it or whatever. But, what does she expect? I mean, I would have seen this like she would have kind of warm up to him, talk to him. And she goes, I really love your records. And he would say something like, oh, you want to have sex? And then just whip it out. And you go, oh, man, that's fucked up, her dreams. No, she threw herself like a little slut, just throwing herself out there saying, oh, and she basically spread him for him. Come on. What does she expect? Come on.
Like I said, she was a naive girl. Very naive.
Is that really realistic, though?
You know what? Probably so. I mean, I think it's plausible that something like that would go down. But, do you feel sorry for her? No. I mean, he's a fucking animal. He's a filthy individual and just a degenerate. I mean, a decent man would be like, whoa, young lady, put those clothes back on, right? Or whatever. You're half my age. But, you got dirtbags like this. And I think that's a realistic portrayal of characters like that. But again, I don't feel sorry for her.
He was trying to have his lunch.
Yeah, and desserts. Oh gosh, I mean, and you mentioned the Breakfast Club, now that's a masterpiece of
it is a masterpiece. But I kind of see how each one of them were they presented themselves in a certain way, but yet they were all kind of broken.
Right, and I can see that attempt that they were making with the script. But it was as deep as a petri dish. There was no depth to the characters, and they were all just annoying and stupid.
Yes.
You
Preach,
you have
Joe, preach.
I mean, they tried to create moments like the Breakfast Club when they do that, the montage, remember? And but it was that one montage. There was like 4 friggin' montages in this. It's like, oh, here's a moment. Let's throw in some music. Let's throw in, make a mini music video. And it's like, and they tried hard to create moments, iconic, air quotes, moments. And they were not charming. They were not sweet. And especially, they were not funny. They tried to,
I didn't find it funny. I thought it was amusing.
You know why it wasn't? You didn't find it funny? Because it wasn't. It was far from. I mean, it tried. Look, this was a Kevin Smith wannabe film, or even Art Linkletter, who did Dazed and Confused. A series of moments connected by.
Did you say Art?
Art Linkletter, yeah.
Wasn't it Richard?
Richard Linkletter. I'm not sure.
It's Richard Linklater.
You're right. Yeah, absolutely. Eric. My bad. Art Linkletter was he was the host of some show back in the 50s. But yeah. But they try to recreate, do those little moments, charming moments, and like a camera on a certain character doing something stupid and kind of like ha ha ha, and it just, to me, it felt really flat. I mean, the movie tried too hard to cash in on that type of genre that was emerging at that time. And
I thought it was going to get really real at one point with the kid
Yeah.
shooting up the place. I thought, oh my God, he shot the guy. Oh my God, this is a turn. I really wish that he had shot somebody.
Well, you know what? That would have made it. It's kind of like the record scratch moment. There's oh shit! Put the brakes on. This just got real. And I think had they gone that direction, I think it would have worked. I mean, they kind of delved into that area when the character of what's her name from
The one from The Craft.
From The Craft. You know, when she like that Robin Tunney, and she shows up with the bandages on her wrist, and I'm like, wow, that's kind of real, you know. But even in that, they don't go too deep into that.
No, and that scene with the manager, that was just awkward. When he was like, whatever. It was just weird. It wasn't even like touching.
And then awkward. I mean, come on. And then the freaking kid comes into the store, because what it is, there's a kid who comes into the store and he starts shoplifting, and they get him. And that whole sequence when what's his name? Lucas is chasing him down through the store. It was kind of ridiculous. But finally he gets him and they call the cops. Now they have this thing, and I've seen this device used before, where you got a non-related character thrown into the mix and kind of like thrown in the middle of all this drama. And he's kind of like, inadvertently involved in all of this. And I've seen that device before. And that's what they tried to do here with the shoplifter. What was his name? He called himself Warren Beatty, which was kind of funny. But, and again, that's another device that they threw in that just fell flat for me. Because, again, it's like I've seen it before. And it's not about, okay, if you did it before, if it's been done before, you shouldn't do it. No. If you see something done before in a film and you try to replicate it or try to do it again in your film, that's fine. I've seen it done tons of times, but you got to make it work. And here they didn't.
I would have loved if they held Lucas accountable at the end, if they locked him up and that's how it ended.
Yeah, or something like that, because what he did was irresponsible. It was criminal. And it was just reckless. And what kind of character arc does he have? He doesn't. He starts off as this reckless, irresponsible, kind of like, I know it all in the world. And he ends up in the same place at the end of the film. He doesn't change much. He's still the arrogant, reckless prick that he was in the first act. So we don't see that.
He wasn't sorry at all.
He wasn't sorry at all. And
he's
by the way,
proud of himself for having him start his own venture with no money. He's like, I'm going to open a store. I have no money, but I'm going to do this. Yeah, good job, Lucas. Like, what?
Right. Oh, gosh. Now,
okay. Can I point out at least one really fucking awesome part of the movie?
Okay.
Is there one? Okay.
There is one.
The ending credits? What?
When they first start the party at the Empire Records, and what is that? Plowed by Sponge comes on.
Oh yeah, that's a great song.
Did you not start rocking out? Because I know I did.
Yeah. What I did was I closed my eyes, didn't watch the screen, and I listened to the song. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. Then I opened my eyes. I'm like, oh fuck, really? So.
God damn.
That's the only good part of the movie, though, was the soundtrack. I did enjoy that. That's about it.
Yeah, it had an amazing soundtrack. And Daisy, welcome to my world.
I didn't think it was dog shit. I mean, I didn't think it was the best movie in the world, but damn, man.
And then how about that Lucas breaking the fourth wall every now and then, looking into camera and saying stuff. It worked for Tom Cruise. Yeah, you're a piece of shit. Right, exactly. I mean, Tom Cruise, it worked with him in Risky Business, and in other films I've seen it used. But here was like, no, you're not charming. No, I don't like you. Don't talk to me. I don't want to,
Exactly. Yeah.
Because when you break that fourth, and his hair, what the fuck was that Larry Moe curly shit?
He had stupid hair.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but but the whole gist of breaking the fourth wall is when you have a character that you can identify with, that you like, and that you're relating with, and at no point that any of that come into play with me with the character of Lucas. And it just, and by the way, Liv Tyler's boyfriend, the rock guy, right? The musician.
That was Robin Tooney's boyfriend.
Oh, Robin Tooney's boyfriend, exactly. The musician.
Mhm.
What the fuck was up with his hair? That was a wig.
That
That
had
was
to
a
been a
wig.
wig.
It was a wig, and it was a
It
bad
was a
wig.
wig left over from the fucking 80s.
Yeah. Oh man. So, but yeah, I mean, for me, it falls way short. I mean, it doesn't ring true. And everything just kind of seemed forced and structured and stagey. The beauty of films like Singles, which Liz, you didn't care much for Singles, but it did flow a little bit more truer than a
Yeah.
lot more than this. I mean, granted, characters were, like as you had pointed out, not likable and so forth, but at least the scenarios flowed and there was a certain truism or a certain organic element to these characters. Here, they're all cut and paste from other films. And so, yeah. Sorry, Daisy. I didn't like, but I'm glad you liked it. I mean, somebody's got to like it.
I enjoyed it. I mean, it was at the least it was fun. Like, I see all your flaws. I acknowledge them,
Mhm.
but I still had fun watching the movie nonetheless.
No, and you know what? That's great. I mean, that's what, it's they're out there to make somebody have a good time. And that's, they achieve that with a lot of people. It does have a huge cult following. But again, for me, I love the soundtrack. And yeah, and the ending was corny. I'm sorry. I couldn't stand the ending. Yeah. So, alrighty. So, again, now you know how I felt with Swingers, okay?
Swingers was this is so annoying.
Baby.
Oh
Money.
God. This one was so not money.
Come on, man.
All right, so let's get into the budget and the box office at this time. So the budget at the time of production was about 10 million, which is about $20 million in today's money. Box office at the time. Now, remember, the producer was given the script for Clueless and he had to turn it down. And we know what a mega box office success Clueless was. Well,
Right.
box office at the time, okay, remember, this is a $10 million movie. It made $273,000, which is about $577,000 in today's dollars. So it didn't even come close to breaking even. It was a huge box office failure. So let's get into some reviews and scores. So Empire Records was received very poorly by critics at the time. Roger Ebert, he gave the film a negative score of 1.5 stars out of 4 and referred to it as a lost cause, but wrote that some of the actors might have a future in other better films.
I didn't know he did negatives.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
I've never heard that. I didn't even know that was a thing. I love it.
No. Well, no, he didn't give it a -5 or -1 no, he gave it a negative.
Oh.
Just
review.
a negative review.
Okay, I thought it was -1, and I was like, "Wow, that's awesome! I love it."
I want to give it a -1.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. IMDb is sitting at a 6.7, Metascore of 47, Rotten Tomatoes critic score 35%, with an audience score of 83. Hence the cult following. Letterboxd 3.6 stars out of 5. So let's go with our ratings. Liz, you go first.
I will give this 2.
Wow.
Because of the music.
Okay, all right. 2 is fair.
It's not negative.
It's not a negative one. You really wanted to give that negative, didn't you?
I did.
Liz is like, I'm reserving that for real dog shit.
Right. All right, so a 2 from Liz. All right, Daisy?
You know what? I'm going to give it a 6 simply because it was entertaining.
Okay.
The music was awesome. And Liv Tyler, she's so pretty. Those eyes, so gorgeous. So yeah.
There you go. Stand by your score.
I'm going to stand by my score. Shit.
Yeah, there you go. You like dog shit? Go for it.
Oh my God, dude. Fuck.
Hey, it's very rare that I'm on this side of the aisle, okay? No, but if hey, stand by your score. That's, you enjoyed it. That's a good score. So for me, the film was uninspired, far-fetched. It was forced, and it was by the numbers, and it was a wannabe Clerks. I'm going to give this 3.5 vinyl records. And I give it that much because of Liv Tyler. And I think she did a great job for what she had. Yeah. All righty. All righty. All righty. So let's get into some maybe some where we might agree. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So for this next film, Drink for Me and Live Forever.
You're a vampire who never knew what life was until it ran out in a red gush over your lips. I can't stand this any longer.
You made us what we are, didn't you?
God kills indiscriminately, and so shall we.
You like dying? You condemn me to hell!
Monster. One happy family.
Take her, Louis. End her suffering and yours. For do not doubt, you are a killer.
I want some more.
A vampire tells his epic life story: love, betrayal, loneliness, and hunger. The film we're talking about here is Interview with a Vampire from 1994, directed by Neil Jordan. The film stars Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, and Antonio Banderas. So for this film, we're going to be rating this on the Filmjoe scale of 1 to 10 rat cocktails.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So real quick summary. Against the backdrop of a gloomy San Francisco, the nearly 200-year-old vampire Louis recounts the unbelievable story of his eternal transformation and life that's worse than death to a skeptical reporter played by Christian Slater. The story spans 200 years of cruel betrayals, extreme solitude, and unquenched thirsts. Louis grimly and fascinatingly, his tale pivots around his perpetually regrettable decision to embrace the dictatorship of blood and, above all, his maker, the seductive blonde aristocrat of death, Lestat de Leoncourt. Oh, thank you. I said that really well. Yeah. Oui. Yeah. Oh, gosh. So let's get into production backstory here. The rights to Anne Rice's novel were initially purchased by Paramount Pictures back in 1976. And this was shortly before the book was published. However, the script lingered in development hell for years, and the rights being sold to Lorimar before finally ending up over at Warner Brothers. Director Neil Jordan was approached by Warner Brothers to direct this film after his huge success, The Crying Game. Have any of you guys seen The Crying Game?
No.
Oh,
No.
damn good movie. Do you know the twist in this?
No.
Oh, okay. I think the silence of snow. Okay. Yeah.
In
It's a
this
damn
or
good-
in the Crying Game?
In The Crying Game.
Oh yeah, no, I have no idea.
Oh, you know what? I do recommend it. It's a damn good film. And Neil Jordan, he has this amazing ability to just make cinematography pop and, just a beautifully shot film.
Right.
So he agreed to direct on the condition that he be allowed to write his own script, though he didn't gain any writing credit for this. With David Geffen producing, the movie was given a budget of $70 million, which was huge and unprecedented for a vampire film in general. Filming primarily took place in New Orleans and in London, with limited shooting done in San Francisco and in Paris. Brad Pitt admitted in 2011 in an interview with Entertainment Weekly that he was miserable while making this film and even tried to buy himself out of the contract at one point.
Wow.
Yeah, he didn't get along with Tom Cruise. I mean, it was a clash of egos, and one of the things
It worked out perfect though, because Louis himself was supposed to be all gloomy and depressed.
Yeah, so it worked. And one of the main complaints that Tom Cruise had about Brad Pitt was his hygiene. He didn't wear deodorant. He didn't shower much. And imagine under this 5K, production lights, you're sweating, you're wearing all that garb. Imagine the scent or the putrid smell.
Oh God.
It's like that. So you ladies, you run, oh, it's Brad Pitt. And you run, So
I don't give a shit. It's Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt was hot.
I
He's
never
gorgeous.
saw what people saw in him until I watched this movie,
Oh,
and I was
okay.
like, "Oh, all right. Okay, I see you now."
Yes. Oh my god, he was at his peak,
Yeah.
Mhm.
during this movie.
Yeah.
That's Brad
That
Pitt
jawline,
was
man.
to me oh god, yes,
And his eyes
he
in
was
this?
he
Sorry.
was to me what Glenn Powell is for me today.
Yeah.
Mm.
He's
I
like
can't
right
really
on the same level. Yeah.
Calendar.
I can't
Calendar status for
yeah.
Daisy.
I Oh,
I
yeah,
can't
seriously.
I can't comment. So, but Brad Pitt, while in production, he called the production 6 months of fucking darkness because the film was exclusively shot mostly at night. So, and that kind of like, kind of depresses you and kind of messes with your psyche. And the film
Yeah.
was finally released on November 11th, 1994. So, Liz, first time watch. Have you seen this before? And what are your
This
takes?
was a first time watch for me.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
I did hate how underused Christian Slater was off the
Yeah.
bat. But besides this movie was beautiful. It was like dark, gothic, and it was just so fun. There's so few movies that I can watch without playing on my phone, and I could not take my eyes off the screen. I loved it.
Okay. All right. That's awesome. Daisy.
Oh, yeah, I agree with Liz. It was a beautiful movie. I read the book
Mhm.
and I think they really did it justice. I thought it was beautiful. It was dark. It was depressing. It was it was fucking awesome. It was a masterpiece.
Mhm.
And had they did a sequel properly, you would have seen more Christian Slater in it because he had a more pronounced role in the second.
Oh.
No, not in the second one, but I want to say in the Queen of the Damned. He would
Oh,
have had
wow.
a huge role in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
So, my take on this, I mean, I'd seen this several times. I'd seen it when it first came out in the theater. And yeah, this movie's pure dog shit. I can,
What?
Joseph.
No. Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, this is a beautiful film, beautifully shot, and the whole the gothicness and the score. And I do have a few complaints about the film, a couple, not many, but overall, this is definitely it ranks up there. It's one of the top 5 vampire films ever made. The cast was extraordinary, and I loved it. I thought it
Behind
was great.
Twilight.
What? Twilight? Oh, come on. No.
I just threw
I'm
up.
kidding.
I
I'm
just threw
kidding.
up.
I'm kidding.
I mean, as much as I enjoyed Twilight,
kidding.
that cannot be compared to this
No.
masterpiece. But I remember when this movie first came out, Joe, you had an issue with the casting of Lestat.
Yeah, I did, and
And
I still do.
oh, you see, and that's the thing. Like I said, I read the book, and Lestat is this snob. He's arrogant. He's, he wants all the attention to himself. And, come on. Tell me Tom did not fucking nail that shit.
I usually can't stand him as an actor because his tooth is right in the middle underneath his nose. And whenever he plays in anything, I can't stop staring at his tooth. I know that's a stupid reason, but I've never liked him for that reason alone.
God.
Well, the
Damn.
middle tooth
Of
is
all the
a bit
things.
distracting. Yeah, exactly. Well, it is kind of distracting because it's so unnatural. Um, but yeah, I mean, I love this film because it does, unlike many other, and there's been some great ones, from Bram Stoker's Dracula, directed by Coppola, and of
Coppola?
course a more recent Coppola, yeah.
I love when you say that. Sorry.
But from that to the most recent Sinners, this really does delve deep into the psyche and to the emotional aspect of vampirism. Challenges the idea of inherent evil and suggesting that actions not inherent nature define whether being good or evil. That whole thing. That it's that Louis grapples with. It's just really profound, and
Mhm.
there's a lot going on that it's not just Interview with the Vampire, is the the dichotomy of the psyche of a vampire,
Mhm.
and it's beautifully done. And before we go any further, Kirsten Dunst.
Yes,
Wow.
yes. The perfect Claudia. Oh my
Yes.
god.
Yeah.
And heartbreaking.
And you
Yeah, it
actually
is.
believe she's like turning into an adult, but still trapped as a child. Like I was there for
Yes.
the whole ride.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly. Not many people could pull that off, of, showing, being, looking youthful as a vampire but then still showing their actual age, and she so fucking nailed it.
oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, when they, I mean, in the early scenes, which I thought was funny, early parenthood being, and she's like, "Stop eating and killing the help. I
That shit was
told you."
cute.
It was so cute and funny. And what's interesting is that so you go from there to when they go to the theater of vampires, and Louis, he says, "Wow, how interesting, vampires playing humans playing vampires," and she
Mhm,
goes, "Yes, so avant-garde." I'm like,
mhm.
fuck, it's like a little adult speaking.
Uh-huh.
And she does this transformation. You talk about character arc.
Mhm.
Her struggling between eternity and not being able to grow into a woman, and
Yes.
and things like that. And man, it's heavy. It really is.
Yes. No, she was awesome. And then the way that she, blood, cold-blooded, when she fucking kills Lestat.
Yeah, because and that is, I've forgotten about that rule that vampires cannot drink blood from a dead person,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it has to be live. But oh man, but what I love, it raises questions about the meaning and purpose of life without end. Because what would think about the romanticism of vampirism, and this by no means romanticizes vampires.
At
Uh,
all.
what's the meaning of life when there is no end? I mean, the meaning of life is we know there's going to be an end when we're mortal, and we live our lives to our fullest, and we do the most we can with the time we have. But if you don't
Mhm.
have that, then what's the point? And this struggles with that,
Yeah.
the meaning of immortality.
Yeah, and then it doesn't help that fucking Louis was already depressed, going into this life, this new
Right.
life, this new existence. I want to say he lost his wife and his
Yes.
Yeah.
kids. He
Now,
he was he was suicidal.
right.
And
So
yeah.
you combine that with the fact that there's no meaning to life. You're living
Mhm,
with the pain of loss because when you're alive, when you're mortal and you experience such trauma and such pain, you psychologically build yourself to at least try to find life again,
mhm,
and because your time is limited. But you take that now you have this eternal pain, literally pain
mhm.
forever that he's gonna have,
But it
as
did give him
torture.
something with Claudia, finding her kind of like a family. You know what I mean?
Right,
Exactly. Yeah. Mhm,
right. And and all of that is kind of in metaphorically brought together at the towards in the third act, where because Louis meets his band of vampires that are a theater troupe, and they pretend to be human that are pretending to be vampires, and they find out that he and Claudia killed Lestat, or they thought they killed him, and
mhm,
which is a cardinal crime in the world of vampires. So they capture Claudia and the mom that they had made for her,
mhm,
and they kill them. They expose them to sunlight and kill, and they put Louis in a coffin forever, for eternity, which kind of it's metaphorical for the life that he was living already, living
mhm,
in that coffin. So yeah, it was wow. I mean, I
mhm.
love. Yeah, I mean, it just so many layers to this, and this is the most psychological and cerebral vampire film I've seen to date.
And I really wish that they would have gone ahead and made, the Vampire Lestat, which is the second book, and then the third book, which was the best in my opinion, which was Queen of the Damned,
Mm.
where all of the vampires that were mentioned in the previous books all come together in one book, and oh my god, it was so freaking awesome. And yeah,
Fine. I'll order all the books and read them all.
dude, seriously, yes. Yes. You will not be disappointed.
Well, with that being said, I mean, the first film was a close to masterpiece as you can get. It was an amazingly shot film, beautifully done. 99.9 of the percent of the cast was above and beyond, and it was a critical and commercial success. It just blows my mind how there was never. I mean, there was a sequel, but and that bombed horribly. Why? This didn't continue. I mean, with
they
Tom
skipped
Cruise.
the book. They fucking skipped the book, and then went to the third book, and then they miscast it horribly.
Yeah.
Oh, does the sequel not have the same Lestat and?
No.
Well, no. Yeah, different actor.
Yeah, because at that point, I think they had waited too long. Is what I think, because it came out years after this film, and so by that point, Tom Cruise was already flying high, literally, with the whole Top Gun. Well, '86 was Top Gun, but he was doing all these other great films, and so he was caught up. So
stuff, yeah,
the Mission Impossible series and so forth. And but yeah, it's a shame. I would have loved to have seen this saga continue with most of that cast.
Yeah.
And it would have been epic. It really would. I mean, what I love about this film is the the narrative method of Louis telling his story to this reporter, this journalist, and you're immediately captivated as because initially the journalist is like, yeah, whatever. Oh, you're a vampire. Good for you. But, Louis does a little, magic trick where he pops here and pops there, it kind of disappears, pops on the other side. And then he's like, oh shit, you're a vampire. And you're immediately drawn into the story in multiple levels. One, what you just saw. Two, the ambiance. Three, the hypnotic voice that Brad Pitt utilizes to tell his story. This captivating, commanding voice that's subtle, gentle, and inviting, and it's almost hypnotic. And that's what a vampire is. And he nailed it. Now let's get into there's an elephant in the room here that we need to address.
Okay,
and that's Tom Cruise. I love Tom Cruise. I think he's a fun actor. And he has range, but he does not have a lot of range. And I don't think he worked as Lestat. He did not. He was, you know what? I'm going to tell you, here's a list of other actors that were slated or that had turned down the role and they were pursuing initially. Okay. Daniel Day-Lewis from, Last of the Mohicans.
No.
Johnny Depp was approached.
He can be in anything, but yeah.
Yeah, no.
Jeremy,
I'd be fine if it was him.
Yeah. John Malkovich. I'm not sure about John Malkovich.
No, absolutely not.
Imagine that voice, how he talks. That would be so weird. It'd be like an SNL skit. Yeah.
Richard Gere was also approached.
God, no.
Alexander Godunov. And I don't know if you know who this is. He was a Russian ballet dancer. And he was...
How would I know who a Russian ballet dancer is? Good, sorry.
Well, the thing, he was also in Die Hard. He was the one with the long blonde hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll give you that one.
I could see where he might have worked, but did he have the acting chops?
Yeah, exactly.
And he even approached Mel Gibson.
No.
No. I mean, he could be Jesus, but he can't be a vampire.
Can't have it both ways.
He can't have it. Well, he wasn't Jesus. He directed Jesus, but still. But I do think that maybe Daniel Day-Lewis.
Not Passion of the Christ, Jesus. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. I think Daniel Day-Lewis would have been an amazing choice. I mean, the guy is, he's a good-looking actor. You put him up in the right way, and he has charm and sex appeal. And if you do it the right way.
Does he, though?
No. Yes, dude, and he
with to you, Joe. Only to you.
No. Oh, he's totally hot. No, I mean, no, really. I think his acting chops would really have taken this to another level. But I guess what it boils down to, anybody else but Tom Cruise.
He did great in it.
Yes,
he was like kind of had that cool swag about him. He was just likable enough.
Yes, he was annoying. He was, he
No.
was no. Shut up.
Am I back? Am I back in the chair? Oh
You
my
are
god! I'm
back
back.
in the fucking. Sit your ass back in the chair. You know, Liz just saw this for the first time, and she agrees. You know, he was a snob. He was arrogant. He was an aristocrat in every fucking way. He was perfect.
He's Maverick. He's not a vampire.
No, he's an actor that portrayed this vampire beautifully.
Joe, he has long hair in this, so you know he's a vampire.
Yes, exactly. You can't be a vampire without long hair.
Do the math. Come on.
Yes, come on, dude.
Oh god. No.
Look, you can't even rebut that.
Keep in mind, I'm not saying Tom Cruise was horrible. He was not. He just fell short. No pun intended. But I know Tom Cruise fans are like, "Oh, that was not funny." But
oh my god, dude, what the fuck?
But he kind of fell short of what the character is supposed to be, bigger than life. This, like you said, an arrogant, flamboyant aristocrat with, that's, he's arrogant and he's.
You're describing what he played in the movie.
Exactly.
No, but he didn't do it well. He didn't really reach that plateau where you go, fuck, that's a performance. Look, compare it. You got Antonio Banderas.
Okay, all right. You know what? We're gonna go there.
Look, let me tell you.
I read the book. Antonio Banderas, as much as a wonderful actor as he is, that one was miscast. He was supposed to be more youthful looking.
But he was amazing. Look, what I saw.
I kind of thought that was weird that he was older and wanted to be friends with him so bad too.
Yes,
I didn't know that he was supposed to be younger. That would make so much more sense if he was like the same age. Like, yeah, we're buds.
Yeah, he was supposed to be equally as beautiful as as Louis, and they like I said, he's handsome, but he's more rugged and rough.
More fatherly figure to him than
like I will be your puppy.
Look, oh my god! Look, well, I think what they wanted to do here was, because the movie is, it's laced with, and its subtext, it's a homoeroticism. And, that's clear and evidence throughout the film. So, no, he didn't want to be buds with him. He wanted to be Anjo Papi. Yeah, he wanted.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah. And so I think with that, they wanted to really have the screen just sweat with eroticism and sexiness. And I think that's what they were going for with Banderas. But goddamn, he was one sexy motherfucker in this. He was really exuding sex appeal and this eroticism in the scenes with Louis that really worked. And I think that's why they cast, because keep in mind, a book is a different medium than film, and film is visual, as we know. So and the tone of the film is this sexual eroticism. So you want somebody to portray that and to bring that out, and I think they did that very successfully. So I liked him in this role. I think he did a great role. But you want to talk about a great performance that went above and beyond? Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt.
Of course.
That. So when you have Brad Pitt in very emotional, dramatic scenes of dialogue with Tom Cruise, that's where I would see the falter, where Tom Cruise's performance was just a little less, whereas his performance needed to be higher and more impactful than Brad Pitt's, because he is Lestat, and he needed to pop off the screen and outshine Brad Pitt because he is Lestat. And that's where it failed for me. Again, not that he put in a terrible performance. I admire Tom Cruise. I think one of his best roles in his career was A Few Good Men. But here he just fell. He didn't really reach that plateau that he needed to, because this is Lestat. He needed to be just like, when he's on the screen, you need to electrify the screen. And that feeling when you watch films like Dog Day Afternoon and Pacino turns it up. That's electricity. And that's what Tom Cruise failed to bring to the screen. And
I disagree.
I do too. I'm sorry. I do feel like he brought all that, though. I felt like when they were in the scene, he was eccentric and this and that. And Brad Pitt, you could see the pain and the sadness and how broken he was.
Mhm.
I think it all worked perfectly.
I do too. I do too.
Well, you know what? I am in the minority because there's a lot of people that felt the same, that it really did dig his performance, that, he did kind of like go out of his comfort zone and his usual type of roles up to that point. And, and I respect that. I mean, people who saw, they, like yourselves, you guys, for me, it just didn't reach that plateau. I wanted him to shine. I wanted him to spark. I wanted him to just pop on the
You
screen.
wanted the sparkles. You wanted the glitter.
Yep. You wanted Twilight.
Oh my God, no.
Isn't Twilight Joe? Gosh.
Get over it, man.
Now, there was
Don't have
another...
Poppy. Sorry.
Poppy. There was another director. He was considered for this before Neil Jordan, and that was Sam Raimi of the Evil Dead fame. And I don't think it would have worked. I love
different flavor.
Yeah, and I love Sam Raimi's work, even in the first Spider-Man films and the Evil Dead and stuff like that. He's a damn good director, but I don't know. Neil Jordan really brought out the gothic element and the feel and the tone and the epicness, because this is an epic vampire film, and I think Neil Jordan really made that happen. So for me, the entire cast is close to perfection. Yeah. So let's get into the budget and box office. So the budget at the time was $60 million, which is about $130 million today. Box office at the time, $223.6 million, which is about $486 million. A lot of fucking money, $486 million. I fucked up that number, but which puts it in the right above Sinners, if you adjust it for inflation. So
wow.
Yeah, so it definitely is, and again, it deserves to be in the pantheon of great vampire films, with Sinners being in the top, and this is right there with it. It's a close second. To me, a movie has to work on all fronts, and all cylinders have to be pumping. And with Sinners, everything was the stars aligned at the right time and place, and everything was perfect. Whereas this, almost, except for Tom Cruise and that middle two.
Oh man.
Anyway, so reviews and scores, it received universal acclaim. Cinema Score gave the film an average of about a B+ on A+ to F scale. Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times, he gave the film 3 out of 4 stars, and he wrote that the movie never makes vampirism look like anything but endless sadness, and this is its greatest strength. Vampires throughout movie history have often been portrayed and had gotten away with something, but the first great vampire film, which was Nosferatu in 1922, it knew better, and so does this one. So a rave review comparing it to Nosferatu and its achievement is quite a statement. IMDb, it's at a 7.5, Metascore of 62, Rotten Tomatoes critic score 63 with an audience score of 86, and Letterboxd has this at 3.6 stars out of 5, and that Rotten Tomatoes scores of 63 is because of Tom Cruise. Let's see.
His tooth. Yeah.
His middle tooth. Sequels and spin-offs, remakes, and so forth. There was that sequel that we mentioned earlier, Queen of the Damned, in 2002, and it was a critical and commercial bomb, and just a complete and total misfire. It's one of those films that, for the sequel, like we mentioned, it needed to happen within the next couple of years of the original film, and they waited way too long. So after the commercial and critical success of Interview with the Vampire, Neil Jordan, he did begin to develop an adaptation of the movie, the sequel, The Vampire Lestat, which I believe is the actual sequel, right?
That is the actual sequel, yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it did not materialize. This is where Hollywood got brain dead and didn't realize what they needed to do. It was so easy to do.
God, man.
Yeah. and they blew it. So, and again, all arrows, all signs pointed towards this has to have a sequel. It should have the sequel, and we're going to have most of the returning people back. But unfortunately, again, it didn't happen. There is a series now that started back in 2000 on AMC called Interview with a Vampire, which I have not seen, and I heard it's pretty good.
I haven't either, but yeah, I want to see it.
Yeah, and they say it also it's a lot more truer to the novels because in the sense, one of the main things is that Anne Rice's novel, obviously in the film, there was shades of homoeroticism, and of course, for the time, you can't really go into explicit detail or go any further than they did in the film, as it wasn't really socially acceptable. Because the book, I have not read the book, but I know in the book there's a little bit more of that.
There is, but it was never. There's no love scenes. It was never really acted upon, but it is, suggested. It's
right, and the series does go more truer to that in that direction. So, but yeah, and it's a very successful series. I believe it just recently got a new season greenlit. So yeah.
Yes.
All righty, so let's get into our ratings. Liss, you go first.
What was the rat cocktails? I am going to give this a 9.5 rat cocktails because they underused Christian Slater. But I love this movie, and I loved all the casting. I think Tom Cruise was fantastic in his role.
Yes.
Sorry, yeah, just 9.5.
Okay, all right, 9.5. Daisy?
I am going to give it a 9.5 as well.
All right.
He was perfect as Lestat. Perfect. So,
okay, fair enough. All right. Well, this was a beautifully crafted Gothic vampire film. Beautiful set pieces, cinematography, the score, the cast. This is easily, again, like I stated earlier, within the top 5 vampire films of all time. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 rat cocktails. Really good film.
Not even a 9?
No, and that's because of Tom Cruise. For me, it really brought the he was look. Okay. Have either of you seen Bram Stoker's Dracula, directed by Coppola?
Yes.
Coppola.
I have not.
Okay, that's an amazing film. Well, what brought that film down was Keanu Reeves, and
okay, but I mean, dude, okay, you're apples and oranges. Fuck, dude, I love Keanu Reeves. Okay, I don't want any hate mail because I'm bashing Keanu Reeves, but Keanu Reeves is not much of an actor. He's very monotone, and how can you compare Tom Cruise's performance as Lestat with Keanu Reeves' horribly flat performance?
Okay, whereas Keanu Reeves brought that down 5 notches, Tom Cruise brought this one down 0.5 notches.
Oh,
okay.
God.
It was not that. Look, I'm telling you, he was.
Daisy's having a seizure. I hope you're happy, Joe.
He broke Daisy.
I mean, his performance wasn't horrible. It just wasn't up to par. He didn't bring his A game. Yeah. And so yeah. But yeah, I mean, but it was a damn good film and easily a vampire film that I would watch over and over again.
I'm so mad I waited this long to watch it because I feel like if I watched it back then, I would have enjoyed it so much more, and I would have already read all the books.
Yeah,
and I'd be on to the series now.
Yeah, no shit.
Now you got to play catch up. There you go.
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. So it's a good one. Sinners is still my number 1 top favorite vampire film of all time. As far as there's 2 categories. You have what's my favorite and what is the best as far as quality, and Sinners is number 1. Now my favorite would have to be The Lost Boys.
Mm-hmm.
I am so shocked on this movie that all the ratings you said that like Letterboxd and everyone gave were so low.
Yeah, that did kind of surprise me as well. I thought it would be a little bit higher, but the audience obviously, and viewers and users, they actually appreciated it more. But the critic scores that were high, they were super, just gushing over this film. But it just wasn't enough for them to bring it up to at least 80 or something. So, but yeah, and I think you know why, right?
No,
Tom Cruise.
no,
Tom
Oh
Cruise.
God! Why did I
Tom
even
Cruise.
walk into that one?
I
I
was like,
deserve
no,
that.
don't do it.
Tom Cruise. That's why.
God.
Okay. All righty. So, what do you guys say we start winding this one down?
Okie dokie.
Sure.
All righty. So, so folks, join us next week as we continue our dive into the 90s. We're going to have a couple of movies. One film that I only saw once and I barely remember, but I know I loved. It's a movie called The Bad Lieutenant, and that's with Harvey Keitel, and a movie called Barton Fink from the Coen brothers. So a couple of indie films that are really, really interesting. So be sure to, be sure to tune in for that. So folks, we really hope you enjoy the show. So please help to support the podcast by giving us a nice 5-star rating. Leave us a good review. Or another way to support us is simply to subscribe and or follow us on Amazon, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Deezer, Audible, Boomplay, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcast fix. You can also catch me on my monthly horror podcast, Fear on Film, with Sean O'Connor, where we cover all the latest in horror films. Also available on all the same platforms. And as for Liz, you can catch her on her podcast, Ouch, Was That a Ghost? And you can catch that on Patreon, Spotify, Amazon, on most platforms for your creepy and weird podcast fix. Also, don't forget to check us out on Instagram, YouTube, Threads, TikTok, Blue Sky. All of these can be found in our link tree below in the show notes. You can also contact us directly via email to thefilmjoepod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your feedback. So, with that being said, I'm Joe.
I'm Daisy.
And I'm Liss.
And this is the Filmjoe Podcast,
where film talk happens.